Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome to Adobe Live. My name is Elisa Welsh, and I'm a designer here at Adobe working on Project Gemini, and I'm here with Pascal and Karla.
Hi.
This is our third day drawing in Project Gemini. And Project Gemini is a drawing and painting app for the iPad coming out this year, and we've been having a lot of fun showing you guys lots of different things in Gemini and drawing. And we have a winner to announce for our challenge. We've been having lots of fun.
I didn't even have coffee. What?
I'm still reading the stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, hello Howard, Dana, Simo,
No,
Nor.
I want coffee too. Yeah.
I know.
Yes, talking about coffee. We
Wait.
need coffee today.
It's because I see like Nor just be like,
Yeah, I know,
"I
like-
want some coffee," and I'm just like,
And it's like it's healthy. Yeah, actually,
I'm
it's.
like, I got coffee in the mind. We should draw coffee.
Yes, tell us where you're from. Hi Shreya. Hi Voodoo Val. Hello everyone.
Shreya, you were here yesterday. I
Yes.
recognize the name. Yeah.
Hello
Morning,
Howard.
Voodoo.
Voodoo. Yeah, you were there
Voodoo
too.
Val.
Philippe.
Everybody.
Yes, tell us where you're from.
Ooh,
Hey.
Adobe Live is the only reason I wake up in the
Daniel's
morning. Nice.
back. Hi, Daniel.
So-
Everybody's here.
Yeah.
What?
There's like an old group of friends coming back.
I
It's like,
know,
hey,
it's
guys.
kind of cute.
Yeah.
I wish they all had live streams so we could
I
see them as well.
And
I
then
know,
they'll
so we
have,
could
like,
all be on like a video call together.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that they'd all have coffee and donuts and just have like a nice little breakfast chat. It's a breakfast chat.
Yes.
With a morning chat.
That feels like it, like a breakfast like
Right?
TV show or something,
AM
talk show.
radio.
Yeah.
Good morning. And
Except
eat
that we have to draw.
breakfast.
Yeah, so we're gonna start drawing soon, but before that, we have a chat and win in 30 minutes, so make sure to get into the chat, log into Behance. You can win 100 free stickers from Sticker Mule today. And we also have a portfolio review about in an hour and a half, and we'll take a look at some portfolios. Yes, hi Mel, hi Chloe. And we have a winner to announce because we had some challenges the past 2 days, so we can take a look at that. These were the submissions.
Ooh.
Some awesome work that you guys did. I actually saw 2 more after
Oh, the
yesterday.
top one, the surfboard is really cool.
This one was us from More. So funny. I like the circles too.
This is accurate.
This
Yeah.
is so good. I love my attitude just like hunched over, just like.
I like how I'm just like,
Yeah, this one's
That's
cool
a good-
too.
that's
I like the
pretty funny
brain.
one. Yeah.
that's a gnarly. It's like, bruh.
So the winner is Pokey Han with this piece.
Congrats,
Pokey! You won a whole year of Creative Cloud.
Blam.
Yay! I hope you're on here, Pokey. If not, you won, and you'll find out soon.
He or she's been on it like 3 days.
Pokey,
So.
come on.
Let's take a look at Pokey on Behance.
Pokey, that's so cute.
I know, I love your stuff.
That's adorable.
Pokey.
Yeah.
Ooh, Pokey,
Wow.
the city one.
That one's cool. Ooh.
Pokey.
Yes.
Oh, cool. It's a picture. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Congrats,
lighting around the character,
Pokey.
though.
Yeah,
Pokey, I
that's
just want
awesome.
to say, you're pretty talented. I would love to see you paint everything rather than put pictures. I think that would be really cool. It looks great, but because everything's so good, I'm just like, but what about if you just painted it? I want to see it.
Yeah,
you
that'd
can
be
do
cool.
it, Pokey.
Actually, what I like to see in her work is like multiple characters in the scene interacting.
yeah.
Because like you have all those like beautiful like you know how to do those characters so well, but having them like sit on the couch like hang together, embrace
More
like,
story moments.
more story moments.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
them,
yeah.
Because it's really gonna push you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, that sounds good. So, congrats, Pokey.
Wow, Pokey, that's so cool though.
Hey, Paul, we saw you yesterday. And hello, Rakesh.
Hi,
Hello.
Franny, yeah.
Hello,
everybody.
India. Hi, everybody. So we're going to start drawing in Gemini. And I don't think we have a plan today for what exactly we want to draw. So we want to know what you guys want to see. Yesterday was really fun because you told us what you wanted Pascal to draw when we were at the end of the stream, and we ended up with like a bunch of crazy animals all over the place, right? And that was fun.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can show that if you want, if for people who missed that yesterday. Maybe Karla, you want to show also what you did
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm
For people
drawing
who
myself.
Hi, Riaz. Hi, Lindsay.
So wait, so you're saying like show the stuff we did yesterday?
Yeah, I think that'd be. Oh yeah. You guys are already in the drawing mode. No, I think that would be cool just to look at what we did.
That was the last one I did yesterday. I finished on the piranha.
Oh no.
Oh, cute. Yeah. So this is what we ended up doing yesterday.
Yeah, I had
a nice photorealistic portrait.
Yeah, I had a great time. At some point, it seems like I gave him a long nose hair.
Oh.
It's an accidental thing.
Something's hanging out of there.
Something's hanging, but yeah, this was super fun to do yesterday. Oh, Pascal.
Yeah,
so
and
cute.
Pascal has all of these animals going crazy. He loves the bat and the shark.
The bat and the shark is funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Art and the Shark. We have this new company who's trying called Art and the Sharks and Bat and the Shark. That's funny. Huh.
Yeah, so let us know what you want to see today. And also submit your portfolios for the portfolio review that we'll do in an hour and a half. I'm so tired.
I don't know why today. It was just hard to get out of bed.
I know. It's also the weather here in San Francisco, maybe.
Yeah.
It's been cold today.
And rainy.
Cold and rainy, yep.
I kind of like it though. Yesterday was super windy, yeah, when I was coming back from...
It's nice.
What am I going to do? I'll just start drawing, and then when you guys wake up and when I wake up, we'll probably like figure something out.
Yeah.
Chloe says, Pascal, I like the alligator, so cute.
Oh, thank you. Actually, it was my favorite to do. I was like, I haven't done an alligator in like...
I think I'm just gonna have fun sketching.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get excited and do a painting.
So this is a brush I haven't used yet. This is one from yesterday, so I'm not sure where I'm going with this, but it started like... I just did like a few marks and then something happened. So, I'm going to see where I can go with this one, and then if it doesn't work, then I'll go back to something else. But just going to explore right now.
What brush is that you're using?
I have no idea. It wasn't the imported brushes. I think when...
okay.
What is it called? It's called Hard Elliptic 19-1.
Oh, so you imported these ones?
It's I think when the import thing was set up, when the team set it up, I tried it, and
you
it
got
imported,
a bunch of random ones.
Yeah, I got 5 brushes in there.
Oh no.
I see.
11.
Yeah, so you can
11,
import your brushes into Gemini and have all of your Photoshop brushes in there.
But I am not sure where those brushes come from. So, but I like that because it's kind of cool. It's like almost like a watercolorish. Or a marker, a dirty marker. When I was in college, I loved working with dirty markers because you could actually just dig in and get some stuff.
Nor says a city at night drawing, but in a fantasy world maybe. Whatever you draw, they're great. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
Kerwin says draw 2 alligators hugging it out rather than solving their problems with violence.
Nice. You might have noticed, I don't do that many violent drawings. So.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think the other one was also really playful too.
Yeah. I do like superheroes though, but it's funny when I draw them and they're always soft and meditating or in a very it's yeah.
Karla, what are you planning on drawing?
I'm just gonna be weird.
I'll do those. I'm just gonna see where, where I'm gonna go with this, and then
I'm just gonna sketch and be weird today.
That's totally fine.
I'm sorry. I'm playing around with the pencil right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that the pencil?
Yeah,
brush?
I just really
that's
like
cool.
it. I want her to kind of be lecturing a T-Rex.
Oh my gosh, that's cool. Yeah, tell him the T-Rex what he needs to do.
Be just listen, T-Rex. She's got puffy sleeves.
this is where I wish we could hear them so they can ask questions or play music or something.
Yeah, Dana's saying love watching the process.
Well, okay. Mine right now is I'm still trying to I'm not sure what I'm doing, but eventually we'll figure it out. That's the whole thing about when usually no one's watching me. I love getting lost like this.
Yeah,
and
then just doing whatever and seeing what comes out of it, right?
Clearly, I'm always going to those romantic moments and
Oh, that's so nice.
Aww.
Yeah.
Kendra, welcome. Gemini is not released yet, but we're releasing this year, so soon. It's coming out soon, guys. And we're super excited to see what you think. And let us know if there's anything that you want to see. Pascal's been showing us some cool tricks with like locking the transparency of a layer.
Looks more
And
like Iguana now.
Who's talking? What are you doing?
Yeah, some cool tricks that you guys want to see. We have
There
like
you go.
blend modes in here that Pascal's been using. Karla's been using some really cool brushes as well. So anything you want to see, process.
right.
We've been talking a lot about like different styles of illustration and art and a lot of different deep topics yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got deep.
Yeah.
Man. Oh no, he's worried.
Okay, this is a completely different style than like before, but I like that a lot.
Yeah. It's different.
So this is definitely going to be as nice as Karla because I don't know anatomy the way she does, but I'll figure something out.
Yeah, don't worry. Oh my gosh, his arms. He's like begging. He's like,
I'm
please.
so sorry.
The T-Rex.
With his short arms, you can't like get them together.
I'm getting it weird. I feel like she needs to be much smaller.
Hello, Paul. Text is not in Gemini yet, but it will be coming.
What
at
is
some
text?
point.
Oh, text.
I'm just gonna make
Yeah,
a bunch of layers.
there's still things that we're adding, still things that are not complete yet. As you can see, like we're still working on it, but things will be coming. Dana, the beta is out, yes. So we have a list and a link that you can sign up with. And then you can see if you can get on it and play with it.
Usually we get quiet because we're focusing.
Yes.
Focused.
What happened to the T-Rex and the girl, Karla?
They
You
went
done with that?
extinct.
Okay.
That's great.
No, they're here. I just put them in a different layer.
Oh, okay.
It's just like, okay, that's too silly. And poorly drawn.
This is fun. This is like charcoal. I can just like push and pull stuff in there.
Ooh, which one are you using?
I don't know which one. It was just in there. It's called like a hard elliptic. I'm assuming it's one of Kyle's brushes. Kyle Webster, he does all those brushes for Photoshop. Let's see if I can put some color as well in there. Don't worry, if you guys don't like this, Susan, then I'll move on to something else.
Riaz is asking, what do you guys suggest to a complete beginner who has had a hard time with brushes?
Use pencil. No, meaning like you have so many brushes in there. Like some of the brush. I mean, like I had the same issue at the beginning. When I first opened Photoshop, I tried every single brush, and I guess I think for maybe a week, I was really depressed because like there was like hundreds and hundreds of brushes, and I couldn't do anything with any of them. And then I finally figured out like if I just used a round brush, I could actually do some work. It would be like my work, and it didn't look. I think that was the thing. When I opened Photoshop and I would see everybody else's work on it, was like, man, they do those amazing things, all those like incredible like lighting and texture, and I didn't know any of this. I was just like a drawer, and I got really like messed up at the beginning, and then I realized if I just used the round brush, I could still do the type of work I did, and eventually it grew from there. So just keep it simple.
Yeah.
I would say for me, what helped me was realizing that I only really need about 3 brushes in Photoshop. A round brush, a square brush, and then a textural brush. And then that's it.
What's the textural brush?
Like a textural brush, like something like a rake or something that has like a little bit of like texture to it. It's usually like kind of like this here. I have a couple brushes here. In fact, I have all the brushes that I'm talking about. Like something like this. Like look at how textured that is.
Yeah.
Like that's
When do you usually
really
use
cool.
that type of brush?
Oh.
What part in their process?
all the time from when I'm painting, because like a brush like that will give you like just like really great marks immediately, and then you're not. It kind of takes you away from the the digitalness of things. Sometimes if you
that's
just
cool.
if you just have like like
It
that.
makes it look so much more natural.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. And like we have so many different resources now that can help you find different brushes, but really just like a regular soft or you know, somewhat hardish round brush, a square brush, and then just like a textural brush, and you're good. Yeah.
Hey Renee, hey Laura, hey Destiny.
Hi guys.
Lots of people coming in, and we're looking at Project Gemini today, and that's what Pascal and Karla are drawing in. We have tons of pixel brushes, we have our vector brushes, and we have our live watercolor and oil brushes as well.
Well, we haven't really tried all the other ones. There's
maybe
so
we
much
should,
stuff.
So much.
So much to do,
I'll
so
try some of the
little
other
time.
stuff. I just want to see where I can go with this.
Yeah, maybe we can just show off some of the watercolor stuff.
Sarah and your wife.
Oh,
Hi, honey.
so
Oh, she's watching,
romantic.
Cute. That's so cute.
Yeah, it's super flexible. I'm surprised how, before coming here, like I knew a little bit about, I mean, I've been playing around with it, but not like that. And since I've been here, I've been just exploring. It's pretty, that app is really, really flexible. Huh. When I was in college, I used to do all those charcoals. That's actually how I got into lighting, by doing charcoals. And this
Oh,
is,
really?
because charcoal is like, you know, first of all, it's funny, but like it was before computers. So if you want to do color, you actually had to buy color. And when you're a student, you don't necessarily have as much money.
Yeah,
So buying those big tubes of gouache and stuff is like,
too much.
it's a little expensive. So
Yeah.
when you ran out, you just like had to rely on something else. But charcoal was fairly cheap. And we were doing our own paper, or we were taught to do our own paper. And that was fairly easy to do.
Yeah, Pascal's using that touch shortcut right there in the bottom left corner. You know, you can actually move it as well if you
Yeah, I
want
noticed
it
that.
in a different spot.
Thing is, my finger is really thick, so sometimes I just slide off of it.
Yeah, so that basically is a shortcut tool so that it can change the brush that you're using into an eraser version of that brush. So you can go in and you can add some pixels, and then you can tap on that
Oh, can I
and hold
actually-
it down and take it away with that same brush
Oh,
that you're
that's-
using.
Oops. Super precise. You can actually dig in and. Sorry, I'm like I'm discovering as much. I'm not talking as much because I'm like, ooh, I can do this and this and this.
Katrina, is that your wife?
Is she
Katrina
there?
Campion. Hi, honey, Pascal.
Hi, honey.
Is that us? Oh.
Yeah, kind of.
Laura, hi Karla, hi Pascal. I love what you're creating.
They're so nice.
Thank you.
Victor is dying to get Karla's main brushes. Stop showing off, Karla, please.
I'll share them one day. I promise. Soon.
Yeah, so we also were showing off the paint bucket tool yesterday, so you can either make a selection and fill that, or draw with any brush and fill that as well. So Pascal was doing that yesterday with vectors and pixels.
Yeah, that's the cool thing with this one. You're not stuck to one way of doing stuff. It's like clearly, and like.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of room for you to explore your approach, and it's been great to see how you guys approach things in different ways and like workarounds for achieving different things, which has been really cool to see.
It sounds stupid, but I love it when my wife watches.
Hi, honey. Still there?
Oh, it just makes me excited. So.
Yeah, she's watching. Yeah, so we're using the 12.9-inch iPad Pros. Karla's using the newest one, and then Pascal's using the one from last year.
Which is still pretty
Still great,
good. I'm
yeah.
Like, oh.
Yeah, the last year one was fantastic. Except the clicky this.
The pen is awesome on the new one because, yeah, it's
Yeah,
magnetic
that's
and charges
fantastic.
for you.
And you're just like, bloop.
Yeah, it's easy
And I
to
love that, yeah.
carry around and everything because it's attached.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, growing up in France, there was this show, I think it was Club Dorothée, for anybody who's French and my age. And there's this guy, his name is Cabu. He's not alive anymore, I think. Maybe he is. But they had this thing where like they would do like a live audience, and you'd pick a kid from the audience, the kid come in and draw like squiggles on a piece of paper. And Cabu would just look at it, and from the squiggle, do a drawing, a full-on drawing. and just
What?
anything. Yeah, it was really cool. Sometimes you would take like little like what do you call those things? Irons. And do like marks on the paper, and then you go around and draw things. And
So he would kind of add on to what was already there, or interpret it.
yeah, he would like anybody would do anything. It'd be like a line, a cross section, anything, and he would manage to find a way to turn that into an actual illustration. And that really impressed me, and I was like, this is pretty much like what I'm trying to do right now. It's
So working from one thing into something.
Well, I started this like just doing a couple of marks, and like, I wonder where this is gonna go. And I'm like, no, like wait, this is actually not full on scene.
Yeah,
and
I feel like that's a really good exercise, a creative exercise for your brain, right? And to practice exploring.
Except that doing it in front of a live audience is actually probably harder. I mean, that's like you guys, but.
Howard's saying we need a compilation of Karla's giggles.
Yes.
I agree.
And her humming and singing. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
I want an MP3 of that when I'm tired and depressed. I'll just like listen to Karla.
Man, I can't help
I was
it.
walking back with her yesterday after this, and she's like this in real life too. So just to let you guys know.
I got big egos. I can't help it.
Karla doesn't zoom in much, eh? Yeah, that's interesting. I haven't seen you zoom in.
This thing is not working.
That's because.
Oh, there we go. Again, it's my finger.
Ooh, that's because when I'm just doing anything or I only zoom in when I'm fully rendering something, and even still, I want to still like zoom out and keep like the painting in mind. And I will never, ever, ever. You will never catch me painting something just like this and not noticing the rest of the image, because then I kind of lose like the image as a whole, and I'm always trying to keep that in mind. If this was like Photoshop or something of that nature, I'd have a smaller window open with the image if I needed to go and zoom in or something of that nature. Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking a lot yesterday about like focal points and the overall composition of the drawing as a whole, and how looking at it in different ways. Karla like tilts her head back a lot.
I
if
do.
You notice?
I
Helps,
do.
I think.
Well, I don't. I just like dive right into it.
Yeah, different processes.
Yeah. I love that. I love like hearing. When I
Other
was
people.
younger, I was always trying to find the right way to draw, to paint, to do stuff. I was obsessed with finding stuff, and sometimes I do things like, well, I can't do it like this because that's not the right way of doing it. And now that I'm a little bit older and then more expensive, I'm like, there's actually no right way at all. Anything that works is
What
the right
works
way.
for you? Yeah. No right or wrong. Katrina says, Pascal, you're going to have to give her shorter hair. She's getting a haircut now. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. Probably should have had different clothes too, right? Sorry guys, I'm really not sure what I'm doing here, but I can just.
I don't know
it's
when
totally
my.
fine.
I don't know
love
when
her
she
ears.
I don't know when she turned to an elf, and I don't know when she turned into an executive.
Executive elf. That's awesome.
Listen. We got a meeting at 4.
Yeah, what do you guys think of the iPad and pencil? Tima's saying they're expanding to new toys. What devices do you use at home? You use the iPad?
Yeah,
and
I have an
Cintiq?
iPad.
Yeah.
I have a Cintiq
What do you
for
think
like.
of the iPad?
I love the iPad. The more it goes, it's the only issue I have with it is my kids take it more often than me. So if I'm like, if I take the iPad and I sit on the couch, I'll have like 3 kids jump on me. It's like, Daddy, can I play on this? Oh, Daddy, let me show you this. And
Fighting over it.
fighting over it. And they actually know how to use it better than me.
Oh, wow.
And my son sometimes will show me like, look, this is what you can do. And thing I've been trying to do for like the past like 6 months, and just figure it out instantly. It's really cool actually.
At home I have a Wacom tablet and a Cintiq, but I also have the iPad. For my professional work, I still use like my desktop, but I'm sketching more and more on the iPad, which is really, really fun.
So we have 5 minutes until our chat and win countdown. Where
Already?
You can.
That was
Oh, okay. I
fast.
have to like move
Oh,
on to
don't worry. That one's just the chat and win.
Okay.
We have the portfolio review in like an hour, I think.
Okay, we have time.
And so you can win 100 free stickers from Sticker Mule. So just get in the chat, and you will have a chance to win. Hola, Dama. Hello, Christy.
Yeah, I don't like this one. She's a ninja.
Is there a way to duplicate a selection or something quicker than cut and paste? Yes, there is. We have a bunch of selection actions in the lasso tool. You can make a mask from that. You can invert your selection. There's a bunch of things that you can do. We were using that selection tool a good amount yesterday, I think.
Yeah, I was using it a little bit.
Yeah.
Here,
I think it really speeds up your workflow as well when you know.
When you know how to use it, yeah. The good thing about this is like it's super intuitive. Everything you see here is pretty much all you get. There's a few more things here and there, but overall, you just play around with it, and everything just pops up. So it's like you don't necessarily need the learning curve for it is very, very quick.
I kind of want to just continue building a bunch of stuff in here.
David, it's fun to watch Pascal's process. It starts out so messy, then turns into something so beautiful.
Thank you for saying this, because I was like, where am I going with this?
Team is asking, how do you keep family out of your professional time?
I don't. They're all mixed up with it. I had this discussion yesterday, actually, with my friend Goro. You guys know Goro Fujita? He says hi, by the way.
Oh,
I try to walk him into every single thing I do. I work from home, and right now we have a new studio, so it's gonna be that's gonna be a little different. But usually, like they're always around me. I'll be drawing. I'll have to stop all the time to take them to school, take them somewhere to like get them ready. So at the beginning it was a little hard because before I had kids, I would like spend all my time working, and then when I had kids, I realized I couldn't do this, and I was really frustrated at the very beginning. Because I felt like if I didn't have like 12 hours straight of work, I wouldn't be able to accomplish anything. And I realized that like out of those 12 hours, a good 6 hours were just like me thinking and just being overall lazy. And compressing the time and just being more focused on it actually helped me get just as much or more work done and still have enough time to play around with the kids and my wife and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah. So for me, it works pretty well.
Manning is asking, are there any books you guys recommend? I wonder if that's in general or for drawing or anything. Any books that you guys recommend to the chat?
I like anything from Andrew Loomis. Andrew Loomis is just fantastic at the stuff that he does. He's got like such a variety of like great books, like, you know, How to Draw with a Pencil or Figure Drawing for All It's Worth, and like each of the things are just like each book is like a wealth of information from the golden age of illustrators. It's really fantastic. And then another one for just like good, beautiful painting that's just fantastic is Alla Prima by Richard Smith. And that book's really fantastic too, because it not only goes through like, you know, basic, or not basic, but really good knowledge on how to paint, but in oils and everything, but also it talks about a lot about like art philosophy and like what's a good mindset for an artist to be, like why it's bad when an artist like freaks out or paints without, you know, good rest, or, you know, things like that. It's a very healthy book, honestly. And I really like that about it. So yeah, that's what I would recommend.
Loomis is dope. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, Loomis is the shit.
It's funny because I have those two books at home and I've had them for years and I've never read them.
Which one?
Both of them.
Yeah.
The Loomis thing. It's like I always tell myself I should like read those books and like learn more about it. And I don't know. It's interesting.
I pick them up as I go.
No. I mean, I'm glad to see that some people actually do read them and like learn a lot from them. I have a harder time like this and do stuff. What I do read though, like I have one of my favorite artists ever is Andrew Wyeth.
Oh yeah.
And he has this book, which is a collection of his sketches from when he would go to this farm every winter and stay there for, like, I think for 40 years straight he did that. And he did those paintings, and just looking at them, I feel like I learned so much from like storytelling through just emotions, and it's just like, oh my god. So that's like the best thing for me. So it's more like I learn more about like seeing stuff that I like and trying to like understand why I like them, and then trying to like distill this instance into my work. Even if my work looks nothing like Andrew Wyeth, I don't think anybody can do anything like him anyhow.
So it looks like it's time for our chat and win. So everyone get in the chat. I see a lot of you are asking tons of questions, which is awesome, and we'll get to that right after the chat and win, and we'll be right back.
But see, like I'm trying this, and you do like the same thing 10 times better.
No.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm just like doing a bunch
Pow,
of
chat
executive
and win.
L's.
Wait, so what's
Wee.
the chat one? Do we have to do something for that?
No, everyone's in the chat asking us questions, saying what's
Okay.
up, and then there's a winner that will be announced in a few seconds. Hello, Paula, Kimberly, Kendra, everyone. Dama, Kimberly, you
I
win
have to stop
100
looking
free
at this again.
stickers from Sticker Mule, so that's really
Hi,
exciting.
friends.
Okay, I'm gonna try to work a
Amir,
little bit more on this one for just a
Annie.
little bit, and then move on to something else. What are some of the other stuff?
Milton.
What's that?
Sorry?
Oh, what are some of the other stuff you guys wanted?
You
us to
win.
draw?
Oh, Damo Chan won. Congratulations. Yay!
Oh, that's a cool name.
100 free stickers from Sticker Mule.
So many stickers.
Yeah, so you can like draw something, put it on a sticker,
Can
give it to
wreak
people,
havoc on your
stick it all
neighborhood.
over. Yeah, put it on
cool.
street signs everywhere, bathrooms, whatever you want to do with those stickers.
Become a
Laptops.
vandal. Yeah, there's a lot of people there. Wow, is there more people than yesterday? Holy moly.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
Wow, this is just like,
Damn.
you guys can't see this, but the thing is just
Of course.
with
The
all your
chat.
comments. So.
Of course, the day
Thank
that
you.
I'm like, I'm gonna sketch and not paint something nice is when everybody shows up. That's very upset.
Isn't it
at
always
all
like
of
that
you.
though? It's like when you're like least expecting it.
I'm
like
very
Yeah.
upset at all of you.
No.
No, that's not true.
she's not. She never gets upset. So.
It's true. I hardly
Yeah.
ever get mad.
Are you drawing some Jedi executive people, Karla?
I'm drawing some executive elves.
Oh, elves, yes.
They're just like, listen, we really got to pass this like Rivendell deal. we gotta,
Sure what that is.
we gotta expand over to the corner.
Okay, how about I try? You guys okay with this one if I move on to a different one?
Yeah.
Cool.
What are you going to draw next?
I don't know.
What do you guys want to see?
That's just.
That was a really nice romantic scene.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
really
You do
cute.
those a lot.
that.
Sorry, I gotta give this guy long hair.
Pascal's making his groups.
Yeah, mainly the reason I'm doing this is because then I can do this and just like woof, turn it off, and I don't have to use a different canvas. Oh, another thing too. Yeah.
Do you like to use like one canvas or one document and like just hide different layers, or do you prefer going to different ones and having different drawings on different documents?
I usually do different documents.
Okay.
When I'm not sure why I did this, but you know, I guess I could totally like save it out.
It's up to you.
Yeah, it's just fine. And just
Executive Elf is my Halloween costume this year. You inspired them, or maybe they're already going to do that.
try
Yes,
this more.
Destiny, in an hour we're going to review some illustration portfolios. Team is asking, is your main goal to be more commercial or be more fine arts?
Who?
That's for her, right?
For me?
I don't know. If both of
Is there a I don't know. It's just that the work that I do commercially and the work that I do for myself is very similar in its finish and very similar in its execution. However, the only difference is that the work I do commercially is finding like visual solutions for other people versus the work that I do for fine art is finding visual solutions for me. Or, you know, things that are more for me rather than like an art director or a client or so on. But I really love both. Like I love figuring out how to like be like, hey, client, what is it that you want? It's kind of like you play detective, and I really, really love that. Versus like when it's like fine art, it's like I'm the one that dictates when something's done. I'm the one that dictates what the subject matter is.
cool.
And there's no revisions unless I really hate it, you know?
Yeah, it's more up to you.
Yeah. So yeah, I've gone through enough periods in my life where like I thought the goal was to be more fine art, and then I actually did that and didn't really enjoy it as much. But I also don't enjoy it when I'm only doing commercial
Yeah.
work.
You need some variety.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
found that what works for me is like a balance of both. Yeah. So I think this guy's gonna be.
Paula says, I wanted to see more live streams with this power duo. Karla and Pascal drawing have such fun synergy. I agree.
And I'm pretty sure if you put Karla with anybody, she'd have this sort of like
Nah.
No.
energy.
Nah.
these two specific amazing artists.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, is that a baby on your head? Is that
Well,
you?
someone asked her, like, how do you draw at home? So I'm like, just going to show like, how exactly.
Slouched with a baby on your head.
Yes. I'm just doing this last one.
That guy on the left has extreme power luck. Look at.
Oh yeah. He's just like,
Yeah.
like the lady in the front. She's like very sweet. Like, you know, you could
Yeah,
just
she's
give
like,
us the ring.
And he's like, no, give it to
do
us.
that.
And that guy looks a little grumpy on the right.
And then our partners would be very happy.
That's how it is.
The guy over here on the left is the quiet one who's just staring at you intently. He's executive Legolas.
Kind of scary.
And this guy over here, I think I'm gonna have him check his phone or something.
By the way, guys, I know this is like Gemini, so it's not like as like rendered as like or clean as well. Usually this really how I work at home too. Like I do this like either super quick sketch like this, and it'll just go in and render it out or just go over it. Meaning that it's not that much different from how I work from at home.
Actually, same here. I start really loose, especially if like I'm exploring something or if I'm like trying to think of ideas. I'm ridiculously loose in the beginning and then kind of chisel it out little by little, you know?
Yeah. They're asking about how do you know when your work is done? Do you sometimes overdo the artwork? Thanks for the question, Tima. That's a good one.
Yeah, well, I think we talked a little bit about this yesterday. Like for me, it's like when I feel like it works, meaning like the message comes across and it's clear, the image is done. Then I tend to like try to find a balance of light and color where like I feel like when I look at stuff, I can feel like it's a little flat or it's a little too extreme, and I'm trying to find it. Over the years, I had this thing where like when the values click, it feels clear to me. I feel like there's a depth, and that's just the right depth. I can either push the depth more, you can always work on it more, but it's just like, oh, this works. I guess the impression I want from the get-go, so I'm just done with it. Even if I feel like, oh, I can change this hand, I can change this, I literally never do that.
For me, it's a mixture of that, and then if my focal point is working or at the level of finish that I want it to be, mixed in with like the surrounding areas, they can be looser, but the shape and the value has to be correct. If I get those, I'm very happy. Also, Pokey's here,
Yes.
and congratulations.
Hey, Pokey.
You won.
Congrats.
Or he won. Or they won. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
you won.
Congratulations.
And your work's super cute.
Yes, we love it.
Yeah, I don't know if you were there when you were looking at it. We were just like, oh my god, this is so good.
Rewatch the stream later and see our feedback.
Yes. Hey Sam, we got some people joining late. We are looking at Project Gemini on the iPad right now. This is the best Adobe Creative Cloud live session I've ever seen. Oh my gosh, Rakesh, you're awesome. It's because we have these awesome artists here
Oh.
doing some fun drawings.
Yeah, actually, this one was pretty fun. So.
I saw a question earlier. What are your? I think it was like, what are your favorite like fantasy shows or movies? So someone was saying I get some Game of Thrones vibes from Karla or something like that.
I actually worked on one of the Game of Thrones books.
Did you really?
Whoa.
Yeah, the illustrated history of Westeros. I got to
What's Westeros?
Westeros
I'm just
is
kidding.
what I was gonna say. I was like, well, actually, Westeros is. Yeah, I got to illustrate Rhaegar Targaryen, which was really, really, really
That
fun.
is cool.
So yeah, it was. I did the drawing. That was like on all the Wikipedia pages for a while.
That's
It
crazy.
was fun. I like Game of Thrones. I like Lord of the Rings. I like Final Fantasy.
Cool.
I like, yeah.
Final Fantasy, the game, or is there a movie of it?
The games. All the games.
Oh, there's a lot of them, right?
Oh, there's so many. Yeah, I'm a giant video game nerd, though. Like, that's some people. Like, I like to read, but I also love to play video games when there's some downtime for me. It's how I like relax and.
Yeah, I like to read a lot. I don't honestly like play video games.
Yeah.
Actually, not necessarily, I don't play video games at all. That's not true. I loved Katamari Damacy when we had that.
That's a
yeah.
super cute game.
But see, that's the type of stuff I like. I like the cute stuff. The fighting games, I just can't get into them.
The music for Katamari was
Yeah.
great.
That and I think there was another one before that. I can't remember what it was, but it was the same type of like thing.
Joseph's saying, careful, Pascal, drawing around your children may create future illustrators. I think that's
Two of
already
them,
happened,
yeah,
right?
2 of them actually are amazing illustrators.
That's awesome.
The other one actually is really, really, really good, but he doesn't seem to care too much for it. But it's funny because like Max and Lily are great at art. Max is a lot like me. He's like super, super messy. He just throws everything on the canvas and just like figures it out. Lily is more of a storyteller. She'll tell like little stories. And Colin, once in a while, he'll do those drawings and they're like incredibly clear. I mean, the clarity in his drawing is crazy, but he doesn't seem to like care for it too much. He's like, I just did that. And you're like, what? So,
That's crazy.
yeah, when Lily was younger, she had her own computer that was right next to my computer because you know we have so many computers in the house. So she had her Wacom tablet and she would draw with me, and she eventually started animating in Flash when she was 3.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Wow.
That's really cool. Wow.
Yeah.
They started early. They're going to be amazing. They already are
They
amazing.
are
I saw
amazing, yeah.
I saw some work from Pascal's
yeah.
son. Yeah.
Okay, I want to do something else now.
Moving on.
Moving on. Say goodbye. Executive elves. Toodles.
Question for artists from Tima. How long have you been arting for? Being an artist, and when did you become confident and comfortable with the work that you make? That's a good question.
I've never been comfortable with the work that I make, meaning like, not comfortable, never confident. That's I think one of the reasons I keep doing and pushing and trying different things, because I always feel like I'll be happy with something I do, then I'll look at it later and feel like, I could do better, or this is not exactly what I have, so. But the thing that's cool is like, while I'm doing it, like right now, I'm doing this and I'm actually it's making me happy. There's the sense of like, and not just happy, because happiness, and not necessarily goal in life, but there's a sense of like, I'm doing something, I'm evolving, and it's a way of life. So I love that about art. Then I started posting stuff, and I think when I first started posting images, I was very, very, very scared of the feedback, because, as an artist, like a lot of the stuff you do, you feel like it's an extension of you. So you feel you're a little bit afraid that people are going to judge you for this. And the more you post, the more you realize it's not necessarily you. You're able to take some distance from it and able to look at it from it's like expanding your horizons a little bit. And the feedback is interesting because when you post an image and people have no idea of how you've approached this image, what conditions you did it in, what your state of mind was in, they're just seeing the image and taking this as a full-on piece. Their read of the image, their reaction is very different than what you would have expected. And this image becomes something completely different than what you have created. And it's just amazing to see that particular type of reaction. So.
What was the question again?
Sorry, I just thought.
I was just like, I'm really listening, and I'm like, this is great.
Oh, I think the question was, when did you start becoming an artist, and when did you become confident in your work?
Oh, I was just like listening.
I'm realizing I didn't even answer the question.
So
Sorry, she'll have a better answer.
Gosh. Okay, so it took me a long time to feel comfortable saying that I'm an artist, just because, I don't know, I felt like there was still so much to learn and so much to not prove, but just learn in general. And sometimes I still feel that way. I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm comfortable, because honestly, like, there's always something tricky, there's always something to work on. I am more confident, and I think that's different than comfortable. I'm more confident because I have technique I can fall back upon if something doesn't work out. I know how to dismantle something and figure it out to the point where, like, oh, okay, well, why isn't this working out? Oh, it's not working out because these reasons. Okay, let's try. So that's helpful. But comfortable?
Yeah.
I think I will be in my, like, deathbed and still
not feel comfortable.
and still not because, like, I once asked an artist this, and he said, I think it was Karl Kapinski?
Karl Kapinski?
Yeah, Karl. He told me he was constantly chasing what his mind was seeing. and that his skill level is always 5 years behind from what he sees in his mind.
Wow.
And I feel that same way, where it's just like what I see in my mind, like it's always like I'm always like 5 years behind it and just trying to run and catch it.
Catch up, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no.
It's like a horizon line. What you're trying to get is like the horizon line. And the more you go towards it, the more it goes back. So.
Exactly. I had an idea and then it went.
Yeah, there was another question about battling procrastination or like having a block.
Blocks and procrastination to me are two different things.
Yeah.
A block is sometimes like, most of the time when I have a block, it's more like mental fatigue than an actual block where like I've actually worked a lot before. It happens very often after I've done a big project. There's always this like, because when you do a big project and you work, you build up this adrenaline rush and you're so much more productive and you're so much more into it, and then it stops. And the next day, your brain is still going, but your body needs to like recharge. So you try to work, and it's very frustrating because you can't do anything. And you have like this like 1 day, 2 days, sometimes a week, depending on how big that project was.
Yeah.
Where you're very unproductive, and it can be frustrating because your brain doesn't necessarily react the same way your body does. So that's one of those frustration part. There's blocks too where like you get up in the morning and your mind is foggy, and you want to work, and you have just a hard time getting to it. And it's just that's more like just like okay, just for me, what I do is just slow down and I do something I've done before, and eventually I'll get back onto it. It's like exercising. If you've done it enough times, your body's gonna like start getting into the motion, even if your mind is a little foggy. Now, procrastination is different. Procrastination to me is like, I'll get into like watch some YouTube videos and see some cat videos or something, and just like and just like
Yeah.
an hour and a half later, like shoot, I still haven't started something. I have to start something. I haven't done something. I have to do that, and that I used to do this a whole lot more before. Now that my schedule is definitely a more regimented, I'm thankful that I don't necessarily have that procrastination issue as much as I used to.
For those of you who just joined, we're drawing in Project Gemini, which is a new app coming out this year on the iPad. Right now, we're drawing on the large iPad Pros, and we're looking at, they're both using the pixel brushes. We also have live brushes, which are watercolor and oil brushes, and vector brushes as well.
Okay.
So we're just doing some sketching, some drawing, no plans in particular, so let us know if you want to see something specific, and maybe we can get to that.
This, right now, I'm just going to use the pixel brush just to do the rest of this drawing.
Oh, the vector brush?
Well, red vector brush, yeah, just so that they can see what it's like. I'm not very familiar with it, but well, I'll figure it out as we go along.
Yeah. I'm just
Actually,
using a pencil brush, or
Actually, it's pretty
The
cool.
sketching pencil.
yeah.
Yeah, and then Pascal's doing a lot of filling in the shapes that he's making with the paint bucket tool.
Yeah, that's like just to go.
Hello, Marcy.
Oh, interesting.
Welcome.
So I can't draw over the same thing. Oh, that's because I'm, okay. Got it.
David, I'm loving the mystical figure Karla's working on. Very name of the rose.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Ooh, thank you.
I still haven't seen a drawing that you've done that I don't like, so I'm like, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
You're so nice to me.
I'm just trying to make you tell.
Because I'm just like, yo.
What kind of desk do you use for drawing? I think that's a question for both of you.
A desk?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I guess it's just a desk.
Sit-stand desk
What's
for me.
what's that elevated? Is that your Cintiq?
Oh, that's a Cintiq that's elevated like
Okay.
that. That's all. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I have a sit-stand desk at home because I found out I'm too short for most desks. And because I'm too short for most desks, my hands end up kind of going upwards, and that really constrained. So I had to pony up and get a nice sit-stand desk so I could adjust.
So these are the ones where you can like make them go up and down.
I have a button, not a crank.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I don't want to work out either.
You're like, nope, no thanks.
Sorry.
No, just like, bam. Oh, so we got the technology, Pascal. This isn't the industrial era.
So, Linda, long press actually brings up the eyedropper. So
Yeah, like this.
it doesn't fill in the shapes right now.
This is my eyedropper
so
right there.
Yep, so
good.
it brings up the eyedropper in Gemini. I know it's different from Draw.
I could use it. It's just like I like drawing with one hand and put my other hand down. I don't know. It's just like this.
More
like,
comfortable.
Yeah, it's more comfortable,
There
and
you
I don't mind doing the extra effort.
This was fun.
Nor, I'm sorry, I cannot draw next to these artists. I've been trying to draw a little bit and practicing, but no, not next to them. I'm here to answer your
like some
question.
little bird, really cute. Yeah. That's one thing. Okay, so I guess for the it's very much like
You have to have like a completely
filled.
closed shape to fill.
I wonder if there's there's no like, it's not like animate where you can actually choose. Maybe this will come later, but like it's interesting. It's cool though. Those vector brushes are really cool. I like them a lot. For what I'm seeing right now, I really like.
Pascal would love to hear about how your sketch of the day changed your work.
Well, it completely changed it. My sketch of the day became my work. Not meaning that I don't live off the sketch of the day, but like by doing sketch of the day, people then started calling me for me to do that type of work. Before that, when I started sketch of the day, I was working in this game company called Leapfrog, and what I was doing was like I was hired as an animator over there, and I was supposed to do animations. Sorry, I was talking doing this. It's like wow, I was hired to do animations for them. And then I did one video game, this little dragon, it was really cute, and I did everything in it, from all the animations, all the designs and stuff. And they're like, okay, great, you can do this. Now you're going to teach other people how to do that. And then very quickly I became a manager, and I was like managing all those teams, and I was managing teams in France as well because I spoke French. So I would have to come in and like just like speak to the people in France, do a report, and like manage the teams like on site over there and do more reports, and that would take me the whole day, and so I wouldn't draw it all anymore. And even worse than that, sometimes we'd have those like projects, we have to design those characters, or we have to design this background for this game, and it would be given to me to give out to somebody else, which was very frustrating. So I decided early in the morning, I would come in a little bit early in the morning and do a sketch and post it online on my blog. At the time, blogs were a big thing, so that I could actually get some artistic energy out. And I started doing this, and after a couple of months of posting on my blog, I got a call from Disney TV, that at the time they had this division. They were doing shorts, and they would go online and find people they liked, and ask them if they wanted to art direct. They would pair them up with a writer, and we would create a short. And so they found me, did that. They closed the division while I was working on the short, but I had done enough work that the head of Disney TV at the time had seen my work and called me in and said, "Hey, love your work. Do you want to do some like development for some of the TV shows we have going on?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And that's how I started working with Disney. So that was cool. At the beginning, though, working with Disney TV, although they liked my work, I had to modify it a lot to fit. There were certain things. Remember, this one show I was designing, and I had to redesign this character like dozens, maybe 100 times, because it never really fit the model they wanted. But it was still fun. Then a little bit after that, a director at Dreamworks found my blog as well and saw my work. And they called me and asked me if I wanted to work on this movie called Me and My Shadow. It never came out, but it's, I think, still in development somehow. And that was like a phenomenal experience, because they brought me down to Dreamworks, and I met with them, and he was like, "Okay, so this is the movie, he pitched me the story." And he says, "Go ahead." And I'm like, "What do you want me to do?" He says, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." I'm like, "I've never done this." It's like, "Okay, well, all right. The guy lives in this area. We need to figure out what it looks like. So just go home and do a bunch of drawings and sketches of how you think this area looks." So I went home and started like drawing like the outside of the house of this guy, and then in the street I would put like hundreds of characters doing different things, and I would just send just illustrations every day to them. I was so excited about it, and eventually after 3 weeks, one of the guys called me and said, "Hey, please slow down because we can't process the amount of drawings you're sending." I was like, "Ah." And that was amazing, because at that point no one was telling me draw like this or draw like that. They're just really looking for the idea and however I was going to bring it out. And from there on, I just like stopped trying to be anything else. I was really trying just to focus only on the idea, and the look changed a lot and became more sketchy at first, and then more precise, because I knew I was focusing more on refining what I was trying to get across. So, sorry, it was a really long answer for a short question, but I hope I get the point across.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was a good experience. I loved working with Dreamworks. They were really, really nice to me. Really, really nice.
Yeah, some people are in the chat are also asking about what your favorite thing about Gemini is.
The flexibility of it. It's like
yeah.
I just realized this morning. Sorry, you should talk over. Talk too much.
No, I'm also just like drawing here. So like you do your thing. I'm just like, yay. I'm drawing some like.
But yeah, what are your favorite things about Gemini?
Oh, now you're putting me on the spot.
Carla.
She's asking you, not me. I have to focus because I keep making a mistake and I'm moving
I
forward.
really, I like the, exactly, I kind of really like the versatility of it. I really like little things that like are missing in some, and I don't know, that just make it easy to work with. Like, for example, I love the fact that like you can grab the color palette and just bloop, now it's on its own window. So that if I'm ever painting or something like that, I can just very quickly, you know, kind of grab the colors I need. I really love that I can also hide it. And the same thing goes for like the brushes. Like I know that I can take out the brushes. I can come like this. And I know that like, what was it? I think it was something like that. Yeah. But I can just like have the things at the ready and just very quickly, it just gives me like a lot of speed and I don't spend a lot of time between menus. I love that. I love the fact that I can have my own brushes because if something isn't, you know, like the brushes that are here are already incredible. But you know, we work so long in like Photoshop to build like something that we're comfy with, and so it's nice to have that. It's like my safety blanket. I love the ability of being able to be, you know, mobile. Like this will open up a lot of really awesome opportunities to like sketch at cafes or even get like some work done on the go and not have to carry like my laptop
Everything.
and like
Your setup.
my 20 things. Yeah, like it's just like here's an iPad and then just go. You know, that's pretty cool.
Team is saying, it seems like you guys are very good at illustrating without reference. I'm sure this is from practice and experience. Do you do a lot of drawing in between projects?
I don't.
I mean, all you do is draw.
Yeah, I mean.
Like all we do is draw. Like when it becomes a job, like all you're doing is just drawing, and at some point, a lot of it just becomes muscle memory. Like,
Yeah, that's right.
and also like yesterday, I was working on, I was working with reference. Like this one that I made, like that's from a reference that I was looking at. This one as well that we worked on the first day. Wait, hold on, let me. There we go. So that's very sketchy, but that's also from a reference. And like I think both are fantastic. Oh no! Oh no!
What happened?
We're getting some errors opening.
It's okay. I'll just restart it if that's okay.
Yes,
But yeah.
still in the beta, guys. Sorry.
Sorry. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, how do I get the thingy to... Okay, there we go. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just like, it's just doing it a lot, really. And before you know it, you're just like, all right, cool. I can kind of remember what this looked like, and that's how you build upon it. Even some of the best artists that like completely do work without reference, they just studied all the time.
So they know.
Yeah, like they studied from life or from references and constantly committed that to their visual memory.
Yeah, I don't use reference. I mean, that's not true. I do a lot of this type of stuff right now, which is without reference. But as I explained yesterday, when I was in college, I would go out and sketch constantly, and I would spend like hours, weekends, mornings, evenings, just drawing what I would see. I had like hundreds of sketchbooks by the end of college, and I mean like literally hundreds. This is not metaphorical. This of sketchbooks filled with observation drawings, and exactly like Karla says, like it just the muscle memory of it, and from doing it over and over. What does happen though once in a while is like I feel like I fall into like a habit of drawing the same stuff. So I have to like push myself to go outside and look at different things and try to refresh my memory of like, or more like what is current. That's probably one of the biggest issues. Like you get trapped into like what you already know how to do and you just have a hard time learning new stuff. So you have to be careful of this. And so recently, especially for work, I've been using reference for like environments and stuff. But what I do realize, exactly like what Karla was saying, is like I'll look at a reference and like half the stuff I actually understand what I'm looking at. I'll look at a room and I'll know exactly where the lighting is coming from and why the bound side has this particular color and this particular quality to it because I've seen it before and I've observed it before. So it's a mixture of muscle memory and observation, I think.
I see some questions about keyboard shortcuts. We will have keyboard shortcuts coming, so we will definitely support that. I know a lot of you use keyboard shortcuts and it's super speedy for your workflows, so we will include that. It's coming.
It is. I'm not missing them though right now, which is interesting because I do, for when I'm working at home, I do use keyboard shortcuts for everything. Here I'm like, it's just fun to like just work like that. One thing that is coming that I do miss is like the ability to do a straight line.
Yes, we will have that
just practice
as well. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are in the works right now that aren't in this beta or are coming or we're working on at the moment. So it's a process of getting things into the app. But thanks for all of the things that you guys want to see. It's really helpful for us to know what's like most important as well. Is this what it looks like when you're working at home, Pascal? Looks fun.
Sometimes. It used to be like that. It actually,
looks fun and
I
crazy.
do have some drawings that assign all of us because they would be like this and they'll tell me, draw this, do this, that.
That's so cute.
Yeah, it's fun when it's like this. When it's not fun is like when my son Colin sees the mouse and wonders what it is, so he starts playing with it when I'm drawing and my mouse goes just like, and it's just like, oh. But it's really cute. Charlie's, that's my dog Charlie, and he's always like, if he sees everybody on me, he's just like, what about me, what about me? And then I'll draw my wife in a second, just like on the couch reading a book or do something completely different.
Yes, Nor, you can insert an image on a layer in Gemini. I was actually showing Pascal and Karla, I was drawing a bird the other day and I was using a reference image, so I brought that in. If you can see, there's a little, on the toolbar, it's like one of the last tools, there's a little image icon. So you can totally bring in anything from your camera roll, you can use your camera, you can bring something from your files in, and you can plop that on the canvas on a different layer, hide that, reduce the opacity, trace over it. There's a bunch of things you can do with that. So we do allow adding images right now.
And I guess,
Hello, Argentina. Paula, welcome.
Wow, Argentina.
Hello, Paula, hola.
So like international.
I know.
Hola, Paula.
Yeah, so we have lots of things planned, lots of things in the works. It's really exciting.
Actually, it does work. Huh. So those characters are done mostly with the vector brushes. Interesting.
I'm gonna delete this one.
Yeah, it's same thing. I hadn't used the vector brushes, but
Get out of here.
Oh, maybe it's...
There we go.
Can you show some watercolor stuff?
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
right.
if you've played with it, but
I have not
just
played
for
with it.
everyone to see, we can do it together, learn together. I can show you some stuff with that as well.
I want to know
This
too.
one would work with color.
I wonder if like the emerging down has a hard time because it's like vector and pixel. But yeah, so the character here is pixel, and those are vector, and then you can actually merge them all down. I wonder if I can do the
What was your question?
my question? No, it's just like I was wondering if you're going to be able to merge the vectors with the pixel, but it did. It worked. So I was like, huh, interesting. Let me see if I can still do
Yeah,
the,
so if you want to do that, it'll convert it to a pixel layer.
Yeah, okay.
Because we have our two different types of layers. Since we have two different brushes, we have the vector layers that are badged with the little dot, and then we have a pixel layer where your pixel brushes are drawing on that layer. And what's actually really cool is if you start drawing with the pixel brush, it will automatically create a pixel layer for you. And then if you switch to your vector brush, we'll create a vector layer for you as well. And if you want to merge them, they'll be merged into a pixel layer.
How does this work?
Yeah, I can do the whole thing with this too.
Oh yeah, so Karla's using the watercolor brush right now, I think. And if you change the color and add like a different color onto that, you'll see the watercolors blend. And what's really cool is you can adjust the flow. So you can adjust how much pigment is on there. You can also adjust like the water flow.
Oh.
And you can also adjust like how much it blends, and you can also adjust how much the colors blend together, like real watercolors.
Really? Where does that happen?
Okay,
So wait, so
so-
watercolors is which one? This one?
Yep. So if you tap on that
I'm learning
again.
from you guys.
Look how cool this is too. You can just kind of stack
Oh,
stuff
it's
in there.
this one, the
This one,
second
the
one.
middle one, okay.
Yep, and you go into the watercolor category.
Oh, cool. There's a
Yep.
bunch of them.
And then you should start drawing. We have a few things in the tool options. So you'll see those little water droplets. If you increase that slider, that'll increase how much the watercolors blend together with the different colors. So if you
Okay.
start like drawing with that lavender color or that blue color on the canvas, start drawing.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. This
You
is
can
awesome.
see that water is blending a lot. You can increase the flow, so more water.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's yeah. Huh. That's really
And
awesome.
then if you increase if you change your color and like do a different color and then paint next to that, you can adjust how much it blends in together.
Oh wait. Sorry. Habit of the color. The other one. Okay. Oh
There you
wow. Okay.
So now
well,
you
let's try
can
to see.
see how they're blending together.
This is great.
That's
this
pretty,
is
yeah,
great.
that's pretty amazing.
Look at that.
Let's see. Can do. Huh. Let's try something. This is yeah. This is no. This is this. Sorry.
This is
Not used to
awesome.
like and getting this habit of going to like.
But yeah, it's fun to play with the blending and the water levels as well.
Yeah. This is really great. Oh wow. Whoa, 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 what's going on? Awesome. That works really well for
Yeah.
what I'm working on right now. Cause
Yeah, let's see Karla's screen.
it looks like an old illustration.
Ooh, cool.
I'm about to give them some hair.
Oh.
What?
Wow.
Damn. That's cool.
Yeah, see,
But
like
it blended
my
way
favorite,
too. Yeah.
my favorite thing about it is like how the colors blend together. And if you're painting with your watercolor
Damn.
brush on like an existing layer with like your pencil or any type of other like rake brush or anything, it'll like blend into those
That's cool.
pixels as well, which create really cool effects.
That's really cool. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. Wait, hold on.
See, it's now blending into like the hair that you've drawn already, right? Because
I'm on a different layer,
Okay.
yeah. I kept it all in a different layer just in case. That's great.
I'm silent because I'm trying to figure out how to use this and working, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
loving this. I'm trying to see if I can do a beach.
Ooh, that's a nice looking beach already. Well, it's true. It's true, man. It just works. Don't judge me.
So Paul, I think you were asking about hold to fill. Right now, our long press is for the eyedropper, so we don't have hold to fill in here. But if you have a shape,
Paint with oil.
if you have a shape, you can just use the paint bucket and go ahead and fill in those shapes. Pascal was doing that earlier.
I'm sorry, doing what?
Just filling in the different vector shapes that you
Yes.
had.
Yeah, that works really well. I use this technique a lot when I'm especially when I'm going fast.
So we have 20 minutes for the portfolio submission deadline. If you guys want to submit your portfolios, we'll take a look
Do
at
it.
a few in 20 minutes. And for those of you who just joined, we're looking at Project Gemini on the iPad, and it's coming out this year. We're playing around with all the different tools, and it's been fun.
It's been fun. Yeah.
Even though I'm just here watching you guys, but it's fun to watch.
Ooh, what does the glaze do? Oh, that's wild. Okay, no, that's true. That's so wild.
Which one are you using, Karla?
I tried the glaze and it scared me.
Oh.
But that's because it's like, ooh, this looks like it would be really, really fun to use later.
Yes, these are iPad Pros that we're on right now. The big one, 12.9 inch.
So if I use this, it will blend less, correct?
Mm-hmm. So the colors will blend in less. And then the flow is like how much water is coming out of it.
Got it. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. Everything is so intuitive in this on this
It-
platform. It's pretty amazing.
Yes, Nora, we have vectors in Gemini.
Yeah,
so we
just
have a
use them,
vector
yeah.
brush. Pascal was using it in his last drawing, so if you like using vectors, we have those. And then you can take those into Illustrator and manipulate those paths. Yeah, the watercolor does look really real, and I think it
crazy.
works
Can I do the
like real watercolor. It really replicates like that natural media feeling. I love the big washes.
Yeah, this is like, wow, I'm loving this.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, so we're using Project Gemini right now, which is coming out this year on the
Can I
iPad.
use the blend modes with this?
Yes, you
I don't know
can.
if I want them to be.
And Pascal's got a creepy, somber vibe with that, with her beach.
I know, it's like a Caspar Van Frederick type of stuff. They're like, the big crashing. Sorry. Well, I mean, at least you guys saw like the happy animals, like the romantic scenes, the thing, and then you're not limited by anything. It's really like.
Yeah, and we also have our oil brushes too, which work in a similar way where you can adjust how much paint and globbiness the oil brushes have. You can really see like the texture of the brushes and the oil paint. You can also adjust how much those colors blend as well.
This one though, you can use the eraser, can you?
No, not right
Okay.
now. But yeah, maybe we
Yeah,
can
so it
show
works,
some
yeah.
oil brush stuff
Sure.
just so everyone can see.
Let me try to
Do
finish
it,
this one.
Pascal, and I'm just
I will.
I'm
I'm
here
trying to do it
just-
like all in. Okay, if it was somber, let's try to like make it a little lighter. Let's have like a little dog running on the beach.
Oh,
Aw, those dogs, man.
I love dogs, yeah.
They just immediately make everything better.
Here, when we used to live here in San Francisco, we had dogs and we'd go to Fort Funston all the time.
oh, I
Oh,
love Fort
heck yeah.
Funston.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite places
Yeah.
to go. It's always like, even if it's super nice and hot in San Francisco, which doesn't happen all the time, you go there and it's all nice and gloomy. And I mean, I like the grayness. And there's tons of dogs just running with it. Wow, I just have to like do a few. I love
Yeah, it
this. This
looks-
is amazing.
Looks really good. That dog, that was so quick too.
Yeah, it's like
Good
wow.
job, Pascal.
Can you zoom in a little bit? I don't know.
There we go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it looks more like a.
So I saw a question about Photoshop for the iPad versus Project Gemini. So those are two separate apps.
Yep.
This is more focused for drawing and painting.
Let's see if I can do a.
And in the meanwhile, Maria, we have Adobe Sketch and Adobe Draw. That Adobe Draw is vector-based and Adobe Sketch is pixel-based. So while you're waiting for Project Gemini, you can go ahead and use those apps.
Sorry, I'm playing with the watercolor now. I'm like,
I know, it's really
You're like
fun
going
to
full,
play with how
full
those
like
colors
commercial illustration
blend.
stuff. I mean, it's like you're gonna be able to sell this one by the time you get out of here.
I wish.
Nice. Okay, so now I have this. I wonder if I can go with some like.
Ooh, Pascal.
Wow.
Uh,
Did you just do a wash over the canvas?
yeah, this is just literally a wash over the canvas,
And
and I'm
then
gonna
you
go
did
with
use
like
the blend mode, screen blend
screen.
mode?
No, this is screen. I'm going to see if I can add some light to
Okay,
it.
cool.
So sometimes you have light coming from the sky like this. Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
And then it will
You're
just.
using the trick where you kind of add some light and shadow in.
Yeah, I'm not sure
now
if
at
it's
this point.
This one, I'm not sure if it's as much a trick. It's just like a way of painting.
Mm-hmm.
But it's working. I think it's. Oops, sorry.
I'll never forget.
And then if you want to undo, you can tap with 2 fingers.
Oh, really?
Yes, quick shortcut. Tap 2 fingers.
Wait, really?
Yep.
There, it did work. Huh.
What?
Oh my gosh, I thought you guys were using that the whole time.
No.
Okay, 3 days too late, but that's another shortcut.
No, we're learning
Tap
stuff
to
all the
undo.
time. So if I do this and I do those rays. Yeah, that's probably not going to work as well. But you know what? I got to try to see if it works or not.
Ooh, is that the rain?
Yeah, but is this water? It was no. It was meant to be. It was, but they don't. Oh, you know what? It's because I don't have this.
Yeah, the blending.
Duplicate. Layer.
Yeah, this one doesn't work as well.
Now
So
I'm
I'm just
going
gonna
to
erase
turn
that.
this into a multiply. Nope.
By the way, like when I sketch, when I draw at home, I do so many mistakes. It's crazy.
I think that's part of the process to see what works, right?
Yeah, especially when you're trying something new. Let's see if we can do that.
Yeah, so we have 2-finger tap to undo and 3-finger tap to redo.
Cool.
So you go like this, undo, redo.
Okay. And then if I just
Yes.
get like regular brushes.
How's your drawing going, Karla? Let's see.
I'm good. I'm just getting some stuff over here done. I'm figuring out some stuff.
Yeah, and then I just go. This is like watercolor, and then you add a little bit of gouache at the end to like do the highlights.
Oh, cool. So you're using the pixel brush now, huh?
I'm then using the pixel brush just to go over and have a few highlights.
Miller. Sorry.
Playing with those blend modes. Whoa.
I am.
Wow.
It gives me like
Holy
such a
moly.
cool like thing.
Such an intense feeling, right? when
Yeah.
you do
So
that.
cool.
And then
It actually looks better on your screen than it looks on the screen over there.
yeah. Ooh, because now I can get the
What brushes are you using?
my own.
Sorry.
Well, okay.
No. But I'm
Fine,
also
be like that.
No,
That's
no,
fine.
no. But I'm also using a lot of the watercolor too.
Okay, I think I'm
Heidi's
like,
saying Pascal has a nice sense for atmosphere.
yes, I do. I that's probably the one thing I'm like extremely confident about is my atmosphere.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, so that watercolor, I don't know where you guys can see it. That just, wow, that's really quick. That's really cool. All right, let's go to something else.
Can we play with the oil brushes?
Sure, let's do
Okay,
that.
let's do that. Let's show
See,
you guys.
she's the oil painter. I've never done oils in my life.
No. You're fine.
Yeah, we'll just play around and show you.
Ah,
blending
watercolors
stuff.
take
Oh,
a
yeah,
little bit
it's
longer to
taking a
set,
little
huh? Yeah, I
bit.
can see that because it's all like mixing.
A little while. Nice stretch break.
Oh, wow, dapple lighting.
So fun. Sure.
So we haven't announced, Jamie, about what Gemini will be included, what platforms, and what subscription model. So you'll find out soon.
Okay, so oil paintings.
Yeah, so go to the live brushes and then go to the oil category. You can pick whichever one you want.
Probably have to do something else after this because I want to end on like a good note and end on something like.
Yeah, we got like 13 minutes until the portfolio submission deadline.
Oh, this is cool.
So yeah, these are the oil brushes, and same with the
Can I turn it?
watercolor.
Well, if I turn it, it's not gonna. Yeah, okay.
You can adjust how much paint and globbiness is on your brush. You can also adjust how much it mixes as well. So if you get like a different color, you can play with the mixing.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so maybe do like a brighter color so we can show them how much it mixes.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So-
So now if I play with this,
It'll
more.
mix a ton.
Got it. Oh wow,
So
that's
now-
awesome.
Yeah, it's mixing in.
Oh.
Okay, let's see if I can do something out of that.
Oh, I feel like
Anna, I love the light dappling, Karla.
Thank you.
Hola, from hello,
Is it this
Brazil. We're in San Francisco.
I
Let's see.
missed the oil class.
The oil class. Oh, you're welcome to join. We can go over that more.
No.
No, I feel bad. Ooh.
You know.
So what's also really cool is we have a setting in the brush settings, which is like down here, where we have something called reload color. So if you have this gray picked and then you start to mix the colors on the canvas, if you have reload color on, every time you brush down, it'll reload that original color that you have selected. If you turn that off, it'll pick the color that you've mixed on the canvas and continue to draw with that color. So it just depends on if you want to keep that color that you have selected or blend and mix with the colors that you have on your canvas.
Can you guys see the textures? There's a bunch of texture on the thing. It's really cool.
Let's maybe put up the flow and the mixing. So let's put that all the way up and then
All the way up?
all the way up and then the flow.
The flow
which
is
is
which one?
this one. Yep.
This?
Yep. Turn the flow up, and then I think it's easier to see if you use like a lighter color. We can see the
Well, I was
texture.
actually gonna. Okay.
Like maybe do like a bright red or something crazy. And then what you have, just kind of go in and mix. Maybe zoom in.
It's
and you
definitely
can
gonna be hard to
see.
do like an image with this, but I think I can do something. And now what?
Oh, I think you can see the.
the texture is
the
really
texture.
is great. Yeah. So.
If you guys can see that, now
Wow.
there's all the texture. So if you press a little bit harder, you can add some more. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
like
Huh.
maybe do some swirls
Do some swirls.
and like press in there, and then you can. Oh, there
Oh,
we
wow.
go. Now you can see all that thick oil paint texture.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's
That's like.
fast.
Okay. Well, I'm still gonna. get rid of it because I'm going to try to go wrong with this.
Okay, wait. I need to do what Pascal did the other day, and for the reflection.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, that oil blending is definitely straight butter. It's really
Yeah,
fun to
it's
play with.
really like, again, I'm not used to it, so I might not be able to do something too cool, but I'll definitely like do it.
I think it's cool to just play with it though and see
Yeah.
how it looks. But yeah, the texture's so fun. If you love globby paint, this is definitely a good thing to play with.
I love me some glob paint, so you.
This is making me think of like, I grew up in the south of France, and we had all those like cypress trees everywhere. And it's really cool because like they are so thick that everything in front of them is super dark.
Oh wow.
So you have those like big lines of trees like
That's
this.
cool.
Let's see if I can. I don't know if there are different brushes in there, so like right now I'm just using this.
Oh, look at that reflection
On
on the
my
water.
You didn't think I could. Sorry.
Yep, we need a recording of all of Karla's different laughs and giggles.
Oh man. Do you have a smudge?
A smudge?
Do we have a smudge in this?
Not yet. We don't have smudge yet.
Interesting. Okay, no problem. Do it.
Yeah, Anis, that's a really good point. Oil and watercolor would not mix in real life, but you can totally mix it in this app, which is
true.
digital.
Yeah.
We don't have to follow the rules of the real world anymore. Exactly.
We're wild. We can be wild.
Yeah, it's pretty cool if you have like some oil paint on your canvas and then you start washing with the watercolor. It actually blends, which is kind of weird and crazy to see, but it's actually really cool.
Wait. Let's see. How do I? Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, I think you can really see that texture now.
Yeah, it's definitely super there.
Destiny, I love that gremlin laugh. We need to be friends, Karla, because I do that often.
Yes. It's the best.
Okay, so the mixture here is.
Okay. Ooh, glaze. What
And-
does glaze do? It
Okay.
glazes? What does glaze do?
And glaze is just another brush.
Oh, hey, this works. Yeah, that works really well, actually.
I think Paul wants to see that oil and watercolor technique blending together.
All right, let's try it.
Yeah,
So maybe
kinda
just go to a
trying to-
watercolor brush and then
And
start painting over and we
wait,
can see
how do I get
blending.
these, like watercolors. Okay, so soft wash, and let's try to see if I can do one thing. Yeah, let's do this.
I think you have to be on the same layer. Yeah.
Can I get rid of this one because it's not gonna work. And, interesting.
Yeah, now it's blending a little bit. You can see. Yeah, that now you can kind of see that watercolor is affecting the oil paint.
That's
Pretty cool, yeah.
weird.
Yeah, it is kind of weird, but it's cool. Yeah, and then it starts to blend over time a little bit.
I wonder if I can do that.
Cool.
Yeah, oil paint is really messy in real life. And I feel like watercolor is a lot that you have to work with and be careful about to not mess it up. But I'll definitely practice a lot in here.
Try and go back to the oil paint and see if I can do something.
Cool mermaids.
They're just like
Wait, how do I go? Yeah.
hanging out.
Okay. Oil.
Let me do that. Make a new layer.
Are you in the oil brushes now?
I'm in the oil brushes. I'm just trying to see if I can do anything. Can you change the? Oh yeah, you can actually. Right? There's.
What are you trying to change?
Let's see. Pressure, flow size. There's no scattering or anything on this, right? Yeah.
Not yet. I don't
Not
think.
yet. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like all over here.
Yes, so we're looking at Project Gemini right now. It's coming out this year on the iPad and other platforms later. We're just showing off the different
Chloe,
types
I
of
am not an oil
brushes.
painter, so that's okay.
No,
That's
it
fine.
looks cool. Yeah, now it's blending in those colors. It's a new app and it's not released yet.
Thank goodness for locked transparency.
Yeah, that's I love that.
So
Yeah.
happy.
So we have
that's
5
here.
minutes for the portfolio submission deadline.
Do it, guys. Make it happen.
Did you lock the transparency on those little lily pads, Karla?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
It's some quick shakes.
you didn't
Cool.
town completely on this. This is crazy.
I love the reflection in the water.
Thank you.
And is this a scene, Pascal?
it's
It's like
I'm
a
try-
nighttime scene.
It's a
in
night.
like
Well,
a forest.
yeah. I'm just trying to see if I can do anything with this. I'm not sure if I will be able to, but you know what? I'll just try and see.
Fine.
Yes, Howard. Adobe Gemini is 100% less toxic than oil paint. I know. Breathing the fumes.
That's an oil painter, it's true. It's funny because I was like, I'm just gonna draw today. Painting.
And I was like, I'm just gonna draw today, and I am painting too.
Now we're
But,
now in
Yay.
painting.
I feel like I'm in like 5th grade and trying to like, what am I doing? Sorry guys, but you know, just
We're all learning here.
no learning.
Yep.
Do you think you'll play with the oil and the watercolor brushes more?
I'll definitely play with the watercolor. The oil stuff, like I might at some point. Since like I've never really done it, it's an interesting feel. It's different.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
I'll probably play around with all
Yes,
of them.
Lisa, ABR brushes will work in Gemini. Photoshop brushes will work in Gemini. So you'll be able to have your own brushes in here that you can use, just like Karla.
Yay.
Paul's asking, Karla, do you use rags or newspaper to clean paint off of your brushes while painting?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, you gotta keep that stuff clean.
Hmm.
I also use 2 brushes that are exactly the same so that I can have one brush for my lights and another brush for my darks without having to clean it all the time because it gets exhausting.
Mm-hmm. Hector, bonitos colores de Karla.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You're pretty cool.
Here's my little guy with my dog again.
Oh,
Yeah, eventually you can maybe not
you can
the best
play around
drawing.
with it.
As long as you stick with something, you know, you will probably make something out of it that you're trying to figure out, like a little story.
Mm-hmm.
Might not be the best drawing in the world, but at least you're getting somewhere with it.
So we have another minute until we review portfolios, guys. Howard, you'll be able to import, well actually, your color libraries will show up in Gemini. So you'll be able to have your colors here. Yeah, those lily pads are cool.
Thank you.
One more minute before that.
One more minute. What do you guys want to see after we do the portfolio reviews? We'll have some more time for drawing. I saw someone wanted to see like a cityscape.
Yeah,
That would be nice.
It's all you.
I'm just gonna like, you know, do something like I can do easily right now. Like, you know,
You know it's all you though.
Just before portfolio, and then we'll figure out like.
I'm the worst at cityscapes.
Really?
They take me a bit, yeah.
I love doing them. I haven't tried it on this though, so.
I think it has to do.
That red totally changed the vibe of this painting.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm gonna make it into like. I'm trying to do the line work be a little like light brown or something like that. So it reminds me of like a lot of like the old school animations where that.
Looks like time is up. Sorry to interrupt, Karla.
It's okay.
But we'll be right back. We're gonna have a little blast off, and then we'll see you in a second.
I saw we'll do a little elephant and sketch. Yay!
Oh my God, we just landed in space. Woo! Hi everyone. So we're gonna take a look at some portfolios today with our helmets on. Pascal, are you okay?
It's just if this was space, we'd so be dead.
Yeah, but whatever.
It's okay.
Pascal would be the only one surviving.
No, yeah, Pascal kept his visor on.
So we're gonna
kept his
take
air
a
supply.
Yeah, I'm dying too.
We're gonna take a look at Tejas Podar's
Ooh,
portfolio.
Tejas.
Illustrator concept artist, Maya Digital Studio in Mumbai, India. Whoa, let's take a look at your work and do a little portfolio review. Should we start with this piece?
Are you online? Are you there?
Wow.
I'm
Tejas,
gonna
are you
because I have a
there?
hard time
Are
speaking.
you
My jaw's getting
here?
stuck in that.
Now you're super dead.
Yeah. Wait. So,
I'm gonna commit.
are you there? Are you online?
I don't know, but we can go ahead and get started
Yeah.
looking at his portfolio.
One of the things I'd like to know is like figure out what they want to do because
I know.
it's
That's the number one question I ask
Yeah.
people. Like, in 5 years, where do they see themselves? Because you can like give them advice, but like it's not really useful if you don't know
Right.
where they want to go.
And
But
if your answer is like, oh, I don't know, I can do anything, that's not a good answer. You even if you think you want to do everything, you definitely need to have a direction. The reason when you want to have this is imagining like you're a car with a very powerful engine, which clearly you do have because you have those amazing skills. But if you don't have a sense of direction, that car is not going to go anywhere. And if you want to grow your skills, you need to establish little goals. Or bigger goals, but usually if you have a bigger goal, I would suggest have like smaller goals before you get to it. Just ramp up to it, because what I'm seeing in your work right now is like you've developed some amazing skills in terms of like color, in terms of like rendering, but it's very decorative right now. There's nothing wrong with this if that's what you want to do. But if you want to work in animation, if you want to do character design, if you want to do like story moments,
or anything of that nature.
exactly, you want a little bit more storytelling in your pieces.
Yeah, this feels very editorial to me
Very
right
much
now.
so.
Like, this would be pretty cool in like a magazine. And if that's what you want to do, then there's like literally nothing wrong with that.
Nice sense of contrast in that one, for instance. Like the flowers popping out like this is like I really like it because it anchors the image really strongly. Your skills are really, really good. But I feel like if all your images, if this was a music, all your images tend to have the same type notes of music, like very like the same sort of like not too poppy, not too jazzy, just like right in the middle. And it would be nice to like change that up a little bit, which if you had the direction in which to go would help you a lot.
Cool.
Are you there though?
right now.
I don't know
I
if
don't
Tejas
think
is here,
It's okay.
Is that him?
but
Clearly defined direction is so hard for me. Down to armor. Clearly defined direction is hard for me. I'm not necessarily saying like you need to have like an exact goal of where we want to go, but like if you want to work, let's say if you want to grow your art, very often you just don't know where to go. So you just pick a direction, even if that's not going to be the direction you're going to be in like later on. You have to try, because if you don't try, you're not going to know whether you like it or not. So
So I do have a thing to say. Like, regardless of what your direction is, maybe this would be a good compromise. Regardless of what your direction is, you're going to need to improve like your foundational skills in order to get there. And that's a constant in your career, no matter where you are. As you know, I feel like you have a little bit of a stronger grasp on figurative work than you do with environments. Like once I start seeing your environments, I start seeing where, okay, your brush marks aren't quite there, your observation isn't quite there, your lighting isn't quite there yet. And it just makes me really want to tell you to just like go outside and paint what you see. I think that would be very, very, very helpful for you. See, that one's really lovely because you're bringing in some of that like beautiful decorative
Graphic
work
design,
that you
yeah.
do. But in some of your previous pieces, they just kind of fell a little flat for me, mostly because it's just, see, these look cool, but like, I don't know, like there's something about the lighting that doesn't feel tangible. And I think like, just start going outside and painting what you see. And it doesn't have to be painted realistically either. It can be painted within your own stylized style. But you just want to see what light does, because especially in like the canyon ones, like it's just not there yet. Yeah.
These are fun portraits.
These are super fun.
Yeah.
And then as we get into more painterly / realistic works, that's where I kind of get like, okay, this is really, really, really cool. But like another thing that I would say is also like, I always really give people to do a master study when they want to paint in a realistic manner.
I think it's probably
Because
the
when
best.
when you retrace their steps, you're able to see exactly how the master got to that level of render finish. And I think just for like on that aspect, on the, you know, on the more realistic stuff, just give yourself like a chance to do a master study once of Sargent. You really learn a lot about the brush marks and how he approaches things. And you can apply those same brush marks to your own paintings. Because a lot of the portraits above, they all were very good, but they all still felt unfinished to me. And I think that's just because like you need learning to take something when it's realistic to a level of final is a skill that you got to learn, and doing a master study or like a, you know, something that's super realist, you know, as real as you can make it is one way to do it.
One thing I would say to add to this, and just like, this is, you already have a very high level of skill. You're definitely not just, you know, we're not telling you to go back to school or whatever. You're really good. It's just like refining your skills as you're going along, because you
Like
really
one
have
step
like
further.
a very, very strong grasp of a lot of stuff. But as Karla said, like you can go much, much further in your work, and I think you probably will. Seeing what I'm seeing right now is just very good.
I think one of the things also that helped me, you see, this is great, but one of the things that helped me, and I'm seeing a lot of variety of like skill in your work, and I don't know if it's because some of it is a little bit older, some of it it's a little bit newer. But one thing, see, these are really cool. Well, one thing that would be great is if you hold yourself to a certain standard, where you take your favorite pieces that something kind of clicked and say, okay, from now on, nothing I do can be lesser than this. Like, always strive to be better and always strive to do better work than you've done before. That'll be one way to really, really, really jumpstart and improve. I think you're a fantastic draftsman, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking at that makes me say you should do a Sorn study of his etches.
If you're really interested in characters, because it seems like you have a lot of them, like take one of those, like take this girl or the ones above, maybe because it'll be a little bit easier, and do different expressions with them. But write down the expressions before you do the drawing, because it's too easy to do different expressions and put the name of those expressions afterwards. And try to pick what I call mid-range expressions, because making someone very happy or very sad is easy, but make someone like bored, make someone like antsy, make someone like, you know, half asleep. Those half mid-range expressions are going to force you to understand proportions and how, like, you know, an eyebrow slightly raised is going to be different than like two eyebrows very, very raised. It's going to push you to understand all those things.
Yep.
Let's take a look at the next one. Mateus Amorim Piexo.
Here comes Dr. Boom.
Dr. Boom!
Barral, Brazil.
Brazil.
Hello, Mateus. Are you here with us in space?
Sorry.
Ooh, cool.
Very, very cool. Let's zoom in.
Here we go.
Oh.
Nice. I
adorable.
love that.
It's so amazing how, like, when you put an illustration into like what it would look like in a cover, how it just changes completely, and I love it.
it's a good point of like an illustration. If you have a direction of where you want to go, it does make a very, very strong difference. Actually, that's for the person before. See, that's like you put them in context, and it works. If you just look at a drawing itself, you can like nitpick the drawing forever. But once it's in context and it works, you're like, this is great. This is it. This is like wow.
Matthias is here. Hello.
Hi, Matthias.
Where is
really?
he? Hi, Matthias.
Matthias.
Is it Matthias or Matthias? Matthias.
Matthias. Really quickly, as I'm looking at some of these, and especially on the painting beforehand, yes, and I think it's kind of all over. You have a tendency to paint your paintings quite dark. Like if you were to do a value scale from like super light to like super dark, you're putting all your values kind of like in the midtones, dark midtones and dark. So things get a little bit lost, and where there should be, not necessarily like all the values ever, but there should be a little bit more contrast. And especially you can always tell whenever you squint your eyes, as soon as everything kind of blends in together, that means that you need a little bit more contrast or a little bit more variety within your values. And you can do that by playing with light. You can do that by just, even right here where you had the explosion, that explosion, areas of an explosion are always really, really, really bright, right? Because there's a lot of fire in it. So that would have been a great opportunity to bring in some dashes of like strong contrast, even more than what you have right now. Because you're kind of painting a lot within the dark region, and you kind of want to balance it out. I think like painting from life, like again, just paint from life, you'll be amazed at how like everything, how light works, and just pushing that light will help your values. It's the same thing here, and I think for most of your paintings.
Well, for this one, I would say like the actual drawing in itself is not as strong as like the rest. That's definitely one thing where more practice of just drawing people doing everyday things is going to help you a little bit, a lot.
Yeah. Cool Viking though. Is that the? Wow, that's cute.
Oh, nice.
I had a teacher once that told me because I painted so well that I was lying to myself because my drawings weren't as good.
Yeah, that's actually an issue for a lot of people who are very good is they rely so much on a technique that they don't focus. Actually, coming back to this one.
Oh.
So.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually am hesitant to figure out what's going on because I'm clearly he's on a set. But the story is not as clear as it could be, and that's one thing. I wouldn't necessarily like make a strong critic on the technical aspects. That's more Karla's domain. In terms of story, you have a story in your head clearly right there, but it's not coming across clearly to the audience. And that's one thing you always have to keep in mind is like, you want the audience to understand what they're looking at within half a second. Like clearly, it takes me a little bit of time to figure it out, and by the time I finish figuring out what it is, my mind has already gone on to something else. So if it's like, maybe you have to have a few more props on the side to show like a curtain, some ropes, maybe even like the boom. I know in the upper right corner you have something, but it's not quite there. Just a few little more details to like make sure the audience gets it. And I know sometimes as an artist you want to be subtle. You don't want to be like hit them on the nose, but you have to find this like midway point where your subtlety doesn't get to the point where like it's absolutely understandable from the audience. That's it. It's a good idea though.
I also think, kind of to play on extra on that, I think a lot of it is like, kind of seeing visual storytelling in terms of like a hierarchy. And this is like, what is the story that you're actually trying to tell?
Yep.
And in that particular painting, it's like, well, is it about the Muppet interaction? Is it that they're on a stage? And then just kind of like be like, okay, well, no, it's more about this. And then sometimes it comes with like other different angles and stuff like that. Wow, that's cute.
What if Bill Watterson drew Kellen? Game of Thrones.
That's cute. These are fun.
Yeah, these are really fun.
Baby driver. Is that a Chapulín Colorado? Oh, yes, that is. These are super
These
fun.
are great. Yeah, these are like
I love the concept.
all the different styles you're doing there.
Yeah, your anatomy's a little bit better on here, too.
A little bit,
I wonder if these are more recent or something.
Yeah, we can like hop around. This one is interesting. Wow.
Yeah, once you get into illustrating, I really think you need to work on your light and your values.
Yeah, this one is really dark, and the
Yeah.
variation of lighting is very minimal.
Very cool though.
Oh,
Oh damn! What's happening?
oh my god.
Is this like a potato
I know.
fighting a
Is
bee?
this-
What
yeah.
is
Is
this?
this supposed to be Rambo? Yeah, Rambo.
Yeah.
What is
Rambo
he?
fighting a bee, but
I don't know.
rhubarb.
Yeah, is that
I don't
like a radish? I'm not sure.
I bet it's really funny if we knew.
Yeah, again, like this, the points you were making about like the values of lighting. It's so dark. It's such a cool. This
Yeah.
one is such a cool pick.
I know.
Technically, I would say the only thing in terms of like anatomy is like the foreshortening of the hand and the arm
Yeah.
is a little off.
Yeah.
But the idea is great. The tape is beautifully done. And then if you had a little bit more light going in there to see a little bit more of the values and the roundness of the character, it would actually like really like explode.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, especially because you've painted everything so
Yeah.
nicely. It's like, ugh, I just want to see it. In fact, just take all your paintings from now on, go on the levels, and just like race up the middle a little bit to be brighter.
Yeah.
And then you'll be fine. Just do
That's Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Awesome
that.
mix.
Yeah.
These are really cool.
Yeah,
See-
that value is
Yeah.
in your drawing. Don't forget your drawing.
Yeah.
You're so in a hurry to get to the color that you like sometimes like don't fix your drawings.
And they're such, heck yeah.
Wow.
Nice the clarity on the line there. Yeah.
You know, they're so useful. You learn a lot with these. They're boring to work on. I think, again, because we're seeing such wild variety and jumps from, you know, not polished instrument, but technical draftsmanship, it makes me think that your portfolio has a lot of old and new pieces. So kind of what I told the man earlier, that to just like know where you've really improved in your work and then maintain that standard. Always
Can you
improve
see
your
the
drawings.
Comment.
You know, always focus on your drawing. Cool, cool, cool.
No, Matt, just I see you're making a comment, but we can't read it right now.
We can't read
Coming
it.
up.
We're so sorry. We love you anyway. We do.
Yes, the values I need to study more.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Dudes.
More attention to
You
the
got it.
contrast and line.
Yeah, I thought it was Nightcrawler too. I'm not sure it is.
Is that
but,
right, Kratos?
Whoa.
Oh, that escalated. Okay, okay. See? Yeah.
Yeah, you went
See,
super
right there. You
dark.
went dark.
Yeah, like super dark.
Go lighter. So just focus on light. In fact, if you take this year and just focus on like 3 things: light, going outside and paint, and your drawing anatomy, like in a year you'll be just like, what up?
Yeah, this
I'm
is,
working everywhere.
Yeah. It's nice to see the process.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys, for sharing your portfolios. I think we have like 10 more minutes, so maybe we can go back to Gemini and draw a few things.
Or you guys
before
have any
we
questions?
end. Yeah, do you guys have any more questions?
Yeah, I'd be happy to do
Anything
like
else you want to
a little
see?
Q&A or something.
I think we're going to go back to Earth now.
Oh, I'm stuck.
But yeah, let's go back to Gemini and do some last minute drawing.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
finish my elephant. Sorry, my helmet. Sorry. I think I destroyed one of the helmets
Just
there.
like, I'm in Earth.
Whew, we're back.
We're back.
I'm never coming back.
Oh, man.
I had my elephant there, yeah.
I just want to do some last little touches and move on with my life.
Oh, is that an elephant?
Yeah.
We could
I didn't
go,
want it to like
Kelly.
end up on just the last oil piece. I was like, oh, I'm going to do something like fun.
Cute.
Is an elephant good for you guys?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's fun.
All right.
Is that a butterfly
No.
at the top?
Oh, that was his cap.
Cap.
But I can make
Oh,
a
I see
butterfly.
that now.
I can make it a
I'm
butterfly.
so happy about you telling us that, like, double tappy is,
Yeah.
like, that made me so happy. Like, oh, it's double tap. Oh, fantastic. Ooh, Conte crayon looks great.
Hey, I haven't tried the lasso tool. Let's see if it works
Yeah.
for like drawing.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Ooh,
Ooh,
nice.
There we go. Filling in now.
And then can I add?
What are your biggest sources of inspiration and motivations?
Ooh. I personally, when it comes to artists, I like a lot of dead artists. I do.
Once they die, you like them.
Most of the time,
They
I'm cool
have to be
because I
dead,
can't
though.
worry
That's the
about it. I don't.
requirement.
I'm like, no, they're dead. It's fine.
Yeah.
No. I really love the era of like between 1800s and like 1920s, because you have like. That's when you have like Alma-Tadema, Sargent, and then you go also with like all the wonderful. You have like Alfonso Mucha and Art Nouveau, and then it transfers into like the golden age of illustration, and just like it just like that era speaks to me when it comes to the artwork. But in other ways, or in other things, I just really love like. I love cooking, I love video games, I love reading, I love traveling and seeing different things, and things like that really, music really inspires me as well. Music videos inspire the crap out of me. All these things.
Same here. I get inspired by everything as well. So my family a lot, obviously, because they always appear in my images. But you know, I'm also a fan. Like I started drawing because of comic books. I've always been a big fan of like all Marvel comics. I've never read DC, but I'm starting to right now. And I still read actually Marvel comics.
Yeah.
Or comics and French comics because I grew up in France. So I have a humongous collection at home of any type of comics, like whether they're like French, English, mangas, Spanish comics, Italian comics,
manga.
anything I can find. I just love that particular art form. But I also love illustrators from the 40s and the 50s, all that period, the Impressionists, like huge fan of like everything they did from Monet to Lenoir to, I don't know, Caillebotte and all those guys. And then, you know, like, painting in general, art, anything that represents those imagery, I love. Movies, I get crazy about like good cinematography, or even bad, just like it's interesting. Like across the music videos, some music videos, especially today, are phenomenal pieces of like artwork. It's just crazy. You know, and then I'll go down in the airport and I'll see like signs for like, this is where the restroom is, and you're in a different country and you understand it. And I'm always fascinated by like this universal language that people, without knowing the language or being able to read, are able to understand those signs and like figure out where to go. That things like that, I get very easily impressed like that. So that's so everything really inspires me.
Paula says, Karla, I remember your tweets about finding enjoyment with art and the importance of not falling into the suffering artist mentality.
Oh, God.
To see you giggle on stream shows how much you live by what you say.
Thank you. Yeah, no, there's like this I don't know, it's like a myth or a romanticization of like the struggling, unhappy artist, and that's the only way you can create art, and it's so drama. It's just like, oh God, I'm like, I have to suffer to paint. No. Actually, my best paintings come from when I'm happy, I'm well fed, my emotional
When I'm
life.
hungry, I have a hard time drawing.
Yeah, oh no, I get really aggro. My emotional, with my painting, not with anybody, just I take it out on it. But like, I don't know, it really makes me, because I see a lot of people that sometimes just be like, it comes with the struggle, and it's just like, you know, for some people, yeah, that's what it is, and okay, you do you, but there are other ways that, you know, that people create, and I think like, as I meet more people in the industry and people that have been here for a while, like they're all kind of vibing in the same, like, no, just chill.
Yeah, happy.
And it's just healthier.
Yeah.
It's healthier. This is a pink element. So cute.
I know, it's all done with the lasso, which I have, that's like the third or fourth like way I'm drawing today, which is kind of really cool.
The lasso tool. Yeah, we're exploring some new stuff
it's
today.
I'm working with the
Fun.
Conte crayon, and it's giving me some great, look at these.
Yeah, I mean, your piece there is like, wow, it's so annoying.
No, no, get out of here.
I don't know if you guys can see, like, if you zoom in this area right there, like this depth she has right there, it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Your depth.
My depth of like a flat elephant.
Your depth.
No.
Coming back to what she was saying though, one of the first jobs I had in actually I have this one, in the U.S. I remember the partner of the company was actually had this whole speech for me that I wasn't sad enough because like you have to really like be upset and deep down and completely lost to create something powerful. And I remember like calling my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, and just like, I don't know if I can do this work. I'm not sad enough. And it really affected me. It was like so, but it wasn't true.
No, yeah, that's exhausting.
Yeah, that guy was really.
It's great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's like just enjoy it.
Which one you recommend? I'm just gonna.
I always like to think about it. It was just like, honestly, we're just doing like impressive coloring. Like, I'm just doing like a better version of what I used to do when I was a kid. That's all. And I can't take that, like, how can I take that so horribly serious? You know, like, even if the subject matter is serious, you know,
So it looks like we're almost out of time.
Okay, so I'm
That's
gonna hurry
done.
up to like finish this.
Thank you
I'm
guys
trying to
so
do like,
much for tuning in. These past 3 days have been awesome. I think we all learned a lot from watching Karla and Pascal work.
Yay.
So thanks, guys. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching Project Gemini, and thank you for all of the questions. Have a great rest of your day.
Is it done?
Bye, guys.
That's it?
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.